Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nitro 10. This is the penultimate episode of this first year of general admission wrestling. That is just unthinkable for me to say, but I can't get too sentimental right now because we've got two tag team matches absolutely fully loaded and ready for you, beginning here with one faction's future on the line as the Mob takes on the Blade Runners. Now you see Bobby Lashley, Conor McGregor coming out in a suit today. I assume he'll change out of that. And Zack Sabre Jr. Conor McGregor making his professional wrestling debut. Bobby Lashley successfully defending his Intercontinental Championship earlier against Will Ospreay. And Zack Sabre Jr., of course, the submission master. But who is the fourth man on the Mob? Conor McGregor has alluded to him several times, but who is it? We're about to find out. Oh my God. Oh my God, folks. Nitro 10 is the place where anything can happen, and anything just did. CM Punk makes his return to the ring to join the Mob. He is the fourth man. CM Punk, Bobby Lashley, Zack Sabre Jr., and Conor McGregor. Would you ever believe that I would say those names all together? I think it's very clear the Blade Runners had no idea they were coming out to face CM Punk along with the Mob, but you can only play with the hand that you're dealt, and right now the Blade Runners, well, this is the hand they've been dealt. Jay White, Drew McIntyre, Buddy Murphy, and the Blade, who is already in the ring. These four men make up the Blade Runners, one of the most dangerous factions over the last year in GAW, and they walk right through the Mob to show the fans exactly who they are. One of these teams will not be walking out of Nitro. Loser disbands in this 8-man tag match. Switchblade Jay White and Zack Sabre Jr. begin the match, and Sabre immediately walks into a strike by Buddy Murphy. One fall to a finish here in this 8-man tag. So one 3 count or a 1 tap out, and one of these teams will not be leaving the arena as a team. Now, will that be the Mob or the Blade Runners? It's impossible to know right now because there is no accounting for how much chemistry these men are going to have, and there's no accounting for how well Conor McGregor will do in his first professional wrestling match, and Zack Sabre Jr. tags him in. Conor McGregor versus Jay White, and immediately White whips McGregor into the corner. McGregor, you can see, barefooted as well. McGregor, a legendary mixed martial arts fighter. Let's just talk about the championship pedigree, the amount of gold possessed by the men in this ring right now. In and around the ring, Jay White, former IWGP heavyweight champion. Conor McGregor, the first ever simultaneous 2-division champion in the UFC. Buddy Murphy, former cruiserweight champion. Drew McIntyre, former Intercontinental and Tag Team champion. Zack Sabre Jr., former Rev Pro champion. CM Punk, former 4-time GAW World Champion. Bobby Lashley, current Intercontinental Champion. Unbelievable. And McGregor wrenches Jay White and allows Lashley to get that big strike in, and Lashley now up into the powerbomb position. Lashley could have Jay White in trouble by the turnbuckle, and he drops him right on the turnbuckle pad. Jay White is already bleeding. The blood streaming down his face as he collides head first with that metal pad. White just trying to fight out of this here as the Mob is really taking control, but Jay White trying to get Bobby Lashley closer towards friendly territory. Lashley sees the danger. Certainly the Blade Runners have more experience teaming together than members of the Mob. Jay White and Drew McIntyre have teamed. McIntyre and Buddy Murphy have teamed. So the Blade Runners at least have experience. Bobby Lashley now showing some of his MMA prowess. The Mob actually has 3 men who have competed in professional MMA events, but of course we only want to talk about 2 of them. Bobby Lashley, former competitor in Bellator, he did that while he was in Impact Wrestling, holding all the gold. This is a guy with, oh my God, look at the face of Jay White. Oh my God. But White soldiering on as the Blade Runners set up a move. We've seen him use it against Samoa Joe. We've seen him use it against Aleister Black. And now Bobby Lashley will be on the very wrong end of the triple powerbomb. Blood just gushing down the face of Jay White as he goes for the cover. Zack Sabre Jr. is there to break it up. And ZSJ, that's a beautiful counter out of 2 moves. Jay White and the Blade were both gunning for the submission master. And Jay White, I think hopefully to clean up his face, tags in Drew McIntyre. Referee counting both the Blade and Jay White. They both exit the ring. Bobby Lashley comes back in as Drew McIntyre's in this match for the first time. These 2 men have been through absolute war together. McIntyre and Lashley had a blistering rivalry over the Intercontinental Champion. Bobby Lashley took Drew McIntyre's belt when McIntyre was the champ. It was Lashley's first title in GAW. And they have not forgotten. There is a lot of hatred between those 2 men. McGregor back in. McGregor is certainly not used to, oh, Glasgow kiss from Drew McIntyre. McGregor is not used to giving up this much size in any kind of fight. The UFC enforces very strict weight classes. McGregor has never given up this much size before. And McGregor will tag Bobby Lashley back in. This is a smart match here from McGregor. For as talented as he is, for as great a professional wrestler as I think he could be, he's got to know that his teammates right now are far more experienced. That's who he needs to lean on. McIntyre, look at this submission hold here from Drew McIntyre, as it looks like there's a little blood coming from beneath Bobby Lashley's headband. McIntyre with an arm trap crossface, wrenching back on the neck of Bobby Lashley. And the IC champ able to work his way out of that one. McIntyre intercepts Lashley coming back, and now McIntyre dragging Lashley towards the ropes and tosses him right over. McGregor down to help as well, but there are disqualifications in this particular match, so McGregor can't get himself too involved. 2 teams enter, 1 team leaves here at Nitro 10. Either the Mob or the Blade Runners are about to see their final match as a team, as Lashley, oh, military press on the outside. Referee giving him some leeway here in the count as McIntyre. I mentioned to you how emotionally charged the rivalry between these 2 men has been over the years. And there's no doubt that it is happening here. Lashley rakes the eyes of McIntyre as McIntyre maybe looking for a choke bomb. Lashley backdrop suplex on the outside. I think it's safe to say these 2 men, they don't like each other very much. I think that's plain to see. Oh, Lashley with a kick right to the gut. Yeah, the referee really giving him time out here. I think the referee knows that nobody wants to see one of these two teams get disbanded because of a count out. And Lashley and McIntyre are using full advantage of the fact that the referee is letting him go. McIntyre comes down in a side Russian leg sweep. At this point, this has become a personal vendetta between these two, and McGregor knows it. But I think McGregor, warned by the referee, could disqualify McGregor and end the time of the mob. Now, the Blade Runners have been dangerous all year, basically from the beginning, whereas the mob is fairly new. They've only been around for a couple months. McGregor kept us all in the dark for a long time about what his plan was going to be. He debuted actually about 6 months ago now with Bobby Lashley in his corner, or he debuted in the corner of Bobby Lashley, I should say, but he was never clear about what exactly his plans were going to be. It took us a long time to find out, but if you're a regular viewer of Wednesday Night Storm, you will know that the proper 12 logo and branding is now all over that show because Conor McGregor has bought himself some influence in GAW. Electric chair drop from Bobby Lashley. McIntyre trying to crawl over to make a tag, but Lashley, down to one knee, blocks him from doing so, and Lashley drags McIntyre back into the middle of the ring. Look at these two go at it. I mean, this is, if you can imagine what this is like in a steel cage where they fought in a last man standing match. I mean, if you can imagine that is what these two have done across their careers. As Lashley heads into the corner, this is a move that McIntyre is all too familiar with. Lashley looking for the spear, and he gets it. Cuts McIntyre in half with the spear, going for the cover, and Bobby Lashley carries the mob to victory. There was nothing the Blade Runners could do. They sat and watched helplessly as Bobby Lashley tore apart Drew McIntyre. And the Blade Runners, Jay White, stands by, his face a bloody mess. And you can see that by the end, Jay White knew it was over. The Blade Runners, almost a year to the day after forming. At one time, they were the most dangerous faction in GAW, and now they are no more. Bobby Lashley carries the mob to victory, and they will be walking out of here still a team. Coming up next, GoD versus the Usos. It's a dream match you cannot miss. Listen to the roar of the crowd for Jimmy and Jey Uso, former tag team champions. And normally, this is the biggest show of the year. Normally, you would expect that we would see some grandiose entrance, some crazy grab the headlines outfit. But the Usos today are all business. To them, this is just another match. But to us, this isn't just another match. This is a dream match. A match that every wrestling fan all over the world has wanted to see for the better part of the last decade. We have been denied it over and over and over again. And finally, the two greatest brotherhoods in tag team wrestling in the last 20 years go to war. Guerillas of Destiny, the GAW Tag Team Champions. a team that had not had a lot of success in GAW. Of course, they are the greatest champions in the history of the IWGP Tag Team Championships. But they really found their stride in GAW after winning a #1 contenders match. They beat the Lucha Brothers, who unfairly took the belts off of the Usos, and these two have been on a collision course ever since. They have made it known that they hate each other. They hate what their opponents stand for, but they also know that what they are about to give the fans is a dream match to end all dream matches. If you can believe it, these two teams have never, ever met before in history, and we are finally going to see it happen with the GAW Tag Team Championships on the line. This is surreal. This is an absolutely surreal feeling. It's like seeing your team win the Super Bowl. It's like being on your wedding day. I mean, these are things that until you see it happen, you never knew that it could actually happen. But this is actually happening. And this is actually about to happen to Jey Uso, Magic Killer. Tanga Loa immediately going for the cover, Magic Killer on Jey Uso, and Jimmy forced into action early on in the match. Tanga Loa goes straight back for a cover, and this time Jey Uso kicks out. These two teams are two of the greatest in the history of tag team wrestling. Between them, they have over 24 championship reigns, and yet they've never fought. Both of them are GAW Tag Team Champions. I mean, I can't put it into words how incredible this is to see this actually be a reality. Tanga Loa and Jimmy Uso jawing right now. Jimmy trying to keep Tonga away from his brother Jay. Meanwhile, you can see Tama Tonga is trying to get his brother's focus back as Jey Uso is there in the corner. This is, I mean, as far as the odds makers, Jey Uso comes out of the corner as Tanga Loa was successfully distracted by Jimmy, but immediately corner splash, no good. Let's talk about the style of these two teams. The Usos, terrific athletes. They are exactly what you would call all-rounders. Scoop slam here, Jimmy going up top. We're gonna see it. Uso splash. GOD hit a Magic Killer early on. Now it's time for an Uso splash. Count of two, and Tama Tonga is just there to break things up. Front chancery on a Tama from Jimmy Uso. Now dragon screw leg whip. The Usos are all-rounders in every sense of the word. GOD, they are powerhouses, but they come in with a bit of athleticism themselves. And now Tanga Loa running power slam onto Jimmy Uso. Referee calls for a rope break immediately. Just a miscalculation from Tanga Loa. And Jimmy Uso survives the running power slam, one of the most dangerous in the world. And there's no doubt the fans love all four of these men. The Usos have been fan favorites basically their entire careers. Tag in here to Tama Tonga, and Tanga Loa has him up. Powerbomb into a neck breaker. Jimmy immediately dives around Tama Tonga, gets the tag into brother Jay, but Tama Tonga meets him with a couple lariats, ducks one, thrust kick. GOD has the opportunity to potentially put this match away quickly as Tama Tonga brings Jey Uso into the corner. Turns him around, trying to get him up top, maybe for a top rope gun stun, but explodes out of there with a big shoulder tackle. Jey Uso fighting back. And Jey Uso now looking for a Samoan drop, but Tama Tonga understands the danger. Now these four men are all extended family. They're all part of the Samoan dynasty. The Usos, father Rikishi, GoD, their father Haku. Rikishi and Haku did battle a few times themselves. And so these are four very proud men from a very proud lineage of some of the greatest wrestlers that have ever lived. And if it's possible, these four have differentiated themselves from that great legacy. Gun stun attempt countered by Jey Uso into a forearm. And I hope that one day all of these men have children of their own, and then we can all say, we saw them. Big super kick from Jey Uso. Now the Usos to retain the championships, but Tonga Loa is just in time. I'm certain to tell my kids that I've witnessed this match. This is one of those where were you when it happened moments. Wow, I cannot get over what we're seeing, and neither can these fans. Listen to him go wild, jumping lariat from Jey Uso. This is unbelievable. Out of the corner comes Tama Tonga with the elbow. Kick to the gut from Jey. Big forearm. Tonga Loa trying to stop the momentum of Jey Uso, but he can't quite do it. Jey now, Irish whip, dumps Tama Tonga back into the corner, but Jey now making the same mistake. No, I thought he was going to make the same mistake that Tama Tonga did as the Usos set up a double super kick. But they launched Tama Tonga back into the path of Tonga Loa, gets the tag in. Lariat from Tonga Loa, another one, this time caught, flatliner. But now Tonga Loa clotheslines Jimmy Uso over the top, and now Tonga Loa, look at this, from the top rope comes Tonga Loa with the knees, nobody home. Normally I would say that that'll crush the kneecaps taking a landing like that, but with the adrenaline pumping for these men, I doubt he even felt it. At some point, someone's gonna come crashing down to earth. The question is who and when, and hopefully not for a while. After the absolute domination of last match when Drew McIntyre was dominated by Bobby Lashley, we're seeing a little something different now, but it could be over. Jey Uso, Uso splash! Second one of the match, going for the cover, Tonga Loa, but there is Tama Tonga up to his feet just in time to break up that pinfall, and now Jey Uso going up top, but Tama Tonga is there and throws him down. Jey Uso had designs of a second Uso splash onto Tonga Loa, but Tama Tonga threw him down, and now we've all got a chance to catch our breath. What a match we are witnessing. Both men down. And look at the toll it has taken on all four men. Jey Uso is the first back to his feet as Tonga Loa tries to tag it, to crawl to his corner to make a tag. Corner splash, Tonga Loa out of the way. Now whips him back in. Tonga Loa hits his own corner splash. Jey Uso looking like he's trying to make a tag out to Jimmy, but Tonga Loa gets him up maybe for the power slam. Jey Uso out of the way, and another big running forearm. You can see Tama Tonga desperate to get a tag in, as Tonga Loa has been in this match for a long, long time. And Jey Uso looking to keep it that way. Uso splash, the knees were up. Tonga Loa saw the Uso splash coming, and now whips him back in. A corner splash. Tonga Loa will not take the tag. Instead, Tonga Loa will try to go for his own big move here, looking for the running power slam, but a reverse DDT. Tanga Loa may have just made a huge mistake. Super kick from Jey Uso. Tanga Loa may have just made a huge mistake. Cover! No! The Usos win! Tama Tonga couldn't quite make it. He was inches away, but he couldn't quite make it. And Tanga Loa did not take the tag, and it cost him everything. Wow. What do you think, folks? You think this lived up to the hype? I think it did. I don't know if we could have expected a better match between these two legendary teams. And 1 year after the tag team titles were vacated under tragic circumstances, when FTR could no longer continue, the Revival could no longer continue. 1 year after that, we get one of the great tag matches in the history of general admission wrestling. And ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at new tag team champions. The Usos are leaving Nitro as the champs once again. Folks, thank you so much. One episode left of GAW Nitro 10. It is the main event. Kenny Omega versus Aleister Black. That is a match you just can't miss it, folks. You just can't miss it. That final episode is coming up on Friday. And of course, catch us for the Storm Chaser tournament on Wednesday. Subscribe. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.